Ladies and gentlemen, the State House is in panic mode and William Samoei Ruto is also in fear. The Gen Zs have occupied all the cities in the country, starting all the way from Kisumu to Eldoret to Nakuru to Nairobi CBD and all the way to Mombasa City. The towns have now been taken over by the Generation C. And earlier on this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I witnessed police officers barricading all the roads that leads to Nairobi CBD. From Ngong Road, Parliament Road, Thika Road, Jogoo Road, Mombasa Road, and all other major highways that comes into the city. Another thing that I witnessed also that was surprising is that the police officers were stopping matatus, passenger carrying vehicles, and checking inside to see whether the Gen Zs are there headed to town to CBD for the protest today. But one thing that they did not know is that actually the Gen Zs, some of them and the majority of them, spent the whole night yesterday in CBD already. Because the tactics that the police and the government is using to counter the protest and the tactics that the Gen Z are using to make sure that the protests are a success are two different things. Gen Z are operating in 2025 while the government is still in 1990. So they can never know when the Gen Zs are. You see, they were stopping the matatus to check whether these guys are in so that they can stop them from going to the CBD. But all of a sudden, the Gen Zs actually resurrected from the CBD, from nowhere, and protest began. And as we speak right now, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting hotter. And I can promise that today is going to be that day when the protests are going to be in the CBD all the way to 7 p.m. We have seen a lot of businesses locked. The streets have been vacated. The matatus on the road are nowhere to be seen. This is because of what is happening. Now, William Ruto is afraid because of this. What should William Ruto do for the country to return on where it's supposed to do? There are only two things that this guy needs to do. Number one, he should either accept defeat and start to rule the country in a way that Kenyans want. Start to review some of the reforms that he and his government have brought in place. The reforms on healthcare services, the reforms on SHA, the reforms on help loan, the education loan where the university students and college students are now suffering because the help loan has been changed. Those policies were disrupted. The healthcare policy, the SHA thing, he needs to reverse. The housing levy on many people, Kenyans' payslips, he needs to reverse. And instead, he should start to think on how he can create more employment for the unemployed youth for this country to have peace. He should start to rule the country the way people want him to rule, not the way he wants to rule in a dictatorial way. Number two, he can also resign and say that I have tried to lead this country, but the situation on the ground, the way things are, for the sake of the nation, for the peace of the nation, I surrender. He should surrender. That will be a wise decision for the president to take. Because as things look, this guy are going to attempt to enter State House and get William Samoei Ruto off from the State House. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. William Samoei Ruto also should try and look back and see how has the other four presidents, starting from President Kenyatta, Moi, Kibaki, and Uhuru, have led this country in a peaceful way. He should learn from them. Because what Ruto seems not to realize, he seems not to acknowledge the first clause in our constitution that all sovereignty power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised in accordance with this constitution, either directly or indirectly. When we talk of indirectly, the constitution talks of people giving the mandate to their representatives in the National Assembly to exercise these duties on their behalf. But in the situation where we are as a country right now, it seems like our representatives, the members of government, can never represent this country and Kenyans the way it's supposed to be. And therefore, that is the main reason why Kenyans are taking on the streets to want to demand justice, to demand for accountability, and also to demand for leadership that is acceptable. So in this case, then, the Kenyans are going to exercise their powers that is bestowed upon them by the Constitution in this manner directly, not through the members of parliament, because the members of parliament are already in bed, majority of them, with the government. And therefore, they can never be part of the solutions of the problems that the Kenyans are going through. Instead, they are part of the problems that Kenyans are facing. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto, if he doesn't change his leadership styles or surrender and vacate office, and then this is just the beginning. He is going to have it rough as years go on, because this is only the second year. He has finished 2 years in office, 1,000 days in office. If things are this hot, how about 3 years to come? Things will be more hotter, ladies and gentlemen. As we speak right now, the country is in total chaos. The agencies are on the street. The police are lobbing tear gas everywhere. And we don't know what is going to happen next. But one thing that people of Kenya demand today is that we should not have any life of Kenyans being lost in these demonstrations. The police have to exercise restrictions when it comes to tear gas lobbing and also the use of live bullets and ammunitions. You're watching, ladies and gentlemen, first time you're watching this channel, I request you to take a moment, you hit that subscription button, you smash that notification bell, and also like this video to help me reach a broader audience. And of course, that is the main objective that I have on this platform. In the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, let me think, what do you think Dr. William Ruto should do to save this country from day-to-day protest, where business people are counting losses each and every minute whenever Kenyans emerge on the streets to demand for accountability, for proper leadership, and also for equality in this country. In the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this conversation going. Let me see, what are your thoughts? What should the president do to ease all these demonstrations in the country? And with that, I would like to end there this video. My name is Jacob Nyende, and this is Siasa 254, where we unpack Kenya's biggest political headlines. Until next time, bye-bye.